So the next topic is going to be something that some of you guys may think it's like left field, because there's so much happening in America that I think we sometimes forget that, America is not the only country and there are things that are happening abroad. So there's going to be several things before we get to the topic. First, if you didn't know, Rebecca and I are very proud Caribbeans, right? I am Dominican and Puerto Rican, and Rebecca is Haitian, period. So, another point, if you didn't know, Haiti and DR once upon a time um, were together, right? Before it became Haiti and Dominican Republic, it was just known as La Isla Española, right? And then, of course, segregation, all those things happened, Spain, and a lot of history. But the moral of the story is that tensions have once again, they never actually stopped, but it's just been at a heightened portion right now. So Haiti and DR are going at it. If you didn't know, Haiti's president was assassinated in, I believe it was like 2021 or 2022, along those years. And ever since then, there hasn't been a new president like in office. It has just been like a group of people that have come together and now they're in charge. But the gag of all of that is that unfortunately the gang violence in Haiti just has continued to grow. Over the weekend, over 184 people were killed by gang leaders. And he specifically was targeting elderly people because he claimed that one of them had made his child sick using witchcraft. More than 700,000 Haitians have been displaced from Haiti ever since, like, the assassination of their president. Half of them are children, right? So the humanitarian crisis in the country just continues to increase, right? And since October, more than 71,000 Haitians have been deported from the Dominican Republic because, as I explained to you, DR and Haiti share the same island. Yes, they're split and they're their own countries, but we're very, very close, right? In geographically speaking. So a lot of them migrate into Dominican Republic, but Dominican Republic has now, the president has been saying like, we need help, right? Like, we cannot be the only country that is helping Haiti, or at least attempting to help Haiti. Like, we need world leaders to stand up. And so this week, the New York Times wrote about this, about the deportation of Haitians from Dominican Republic. And in it, the New York Times wrote, the Dominican authorities say they have had enough. The general feeling of the Dominican population is that we are providing social services greater than what the Dominican Republic is responsible for, the foreign minister Roberto Alvarez said in an interview. And that the international community has left us, aka Dominican Republic, alone to attend to Haitian needs. At the moment, Haiti has no president, like I mentioned, no functioning prime minister yet. Instead, they have a 9-member presidential council. So why are we talking about this? I think before we get into the details, I think it's important as a Haitian and Dominican person to speak up about these issues, because the reality is that no one is really talking about them because, I get it. The United States has a lot going on, but it's very hard for me to claim my culture and then never talk about what's happening in our islands. You know what I'm saying? Especially when things like this are happening. So Rebecca and I are going to talk about this as, people that are a part of the community. Yes, we are living in the United States of America, but if we don't talk about it, then how can I expect world leaders, aka the American government, to care about it if we're here in the country and we're just mute about the situation? So I think it's going to be a very interesting dynamic. It's very important to discuss. Yes, there are racist Dominicans. Not all Dominicans are light skinned. There are Black Dominicans. There are Dominicans of all facets, right? But the tension between the two islands or countries have existed for years. So my first question to you is, what is your thought process seeing, Haiti dealing with this and all the violence that is happening?
So whenever I hear about like people talk about Haiti, they always bring up like the negatives, right? Because like that's the quickest thing to bring up. I want to be the first one to remind you that Haiti is not the only country that has gangs running through the country wreaking havoc. You look at Venezuela, you look at all these other countries who have gangs and people standing up for what they believe in, trying to go against their governments as well, and nobody wants to sit there and talk about that. So it's like, I don't want us to just focus on the negatives, but I just want to highlight that every country, every place, I mean, look at America, we all have our own version of problematic people. Okay. So Shayla mentioned the Dominican Republic. I think you said president. That's their president.
I don't think the person that said that is their president, but he has expressed, even like when he comes to UN meetings, like there is a crisis in Haiti. We're doing what we can, but if y'all don't come to help us, we're gonna take extreme measures. Which is why now they're deporting like, or they're trying to at least like 10,000 Haitians a week, which is crazy.
Hmm. And I think the problem that I have with the thought of like them saying like someone needs to help Haiti, I agree. Haiti does need help, but my problem is the help that's giving, it's always at what cost? I feel like Haiti has a history of always getting the short end of the stick, whether that's, sharing the country and like, listen, I know there are good Dominican people and I'm sure there are ones that are sympathetic, but the history has not shown that, right? And my thing is, it's like, I don't think that DR should feel like they're 1000% responsible for the problems that are going on in Haiti. And yes, if they are helping, I'm glad, great. But I think someone needs to step up within Haiti, like one person who is not fueled by greed alone, to step up and actually do something, want to have something, build some type of structure. Having a 9-person team isn't going to do that because one, I'm sorry to say that a lot of the people that Haiti has had in power over like a history of time, greed has always been something, right? Or they don't have the country's best benefit at heart, right? So I think yes, provide Haiti the help, but it's always to me at what cost? Because it's like you may seem like you're helping the country or being beneficial now, but then in the long term, it's like what are you doing to actually benefit the country? Like, I don't know if y'all know y'all history, but a lot of Haitian people do not like the Clintons because when the Clintons have gone to Haiti, they've literally manipulated their resources. There was a time where rice in Haiti was literally plastic, right? And it's like when my grandma goes to Haiti, she tells me all the time, Haiti is not where it used to be, right? You see, like, people are in disarray,
Yeah,
right?
there's a humanitarian crisis.
And it's like, I really wholeheartedly believe Haiti can flourish again. Haiti can be what it was. Like, we are a country that is known for like stepping up, helping,
Yeah.
like fighting for what we believe in. Like, we celebrate on January 1st for a reason, right? Soup Jumu is just not Soup Jumu. Like, there's a whole cultural context behind it. So it's
Yeah.
like, I hate to see people that I know who can flourish, an island that I know is so beautiful. And it's not just like all of Haiti that is like that. There are beautiful places in Haiti that are not being affected by gangs and stuff like that. So I don't want y'all to think that, oh, all of Haiti is just completely in shambles. No, there's just only certain areas where there, I believe, where the most like more city areas or like the places that are more populated that are being affected more. So I don't want to sit there and pin it on the whole island of Haiti, but there are bad areas right now or places that really do need help, and somebody needs to step up because clearly if you have this 9-person team, none of y'all are doing anything to help the situation.
Yeah. Yeah. To me, it's like Rebecca says, it breaks my heart because I, again, as a Dominican and a Haitian, I understand that like our reality here in America is not the same for those that are actually living back home. And it is very frustrating because number one, I think anti-blackness is ingrained into everything. I understand that yes, um there are people that do want to see Haiti flourish, but I think there are also people that because it is a country that is full of, Black Caribbeans, people don't feel as compelled to help them because it's like, oh, like, I don't know. It just feels like people don't feel like they want to help because they already see like, oh, this is a group of people that, it's already like they don't care. They are already like set up for failure. We don't got time for them, whatever, whatever. And it is very, very disheartening because, like, I mean, I've never been to Haiti, but my brother lives in a city in DR that's very close to Haiti. And he tells me like Haitian people are extremely smart. They are go-getters. They are workers. Like a lot of Haitians that are coming to DR is because like they get jobs. And the same way that in the United States, how people feel like, well, immigrants are taking the jobs that Haitian people are doing in the Dominican Republic are the low-wage jobs, right? Like the construction work, and mind you, they're not paying them the amount that they would probably be paying people that have papers and have all the things. So it's just the whole situation just breaks my heart. And I just hope that world leaders, I get it. We all have a lot going on, but I hope that in a few years, Rebecca and I are able to, go to Haiti and experience it because I think this also the whole thing that happened over the weekend about like voodoo or witchcraft, whatever. When things like this happen, news stations exasperated and put it all over the world. So then the people that have never been to Haiti, right? And they also don't get the opportunity to because of what the news portrays. Now it's like Haiti and witchcraft. Haiti is not the only country that does witchcraft.
Thank you. Thank you. Like,
And
that's
it's
what
just
irritates.
stereotypes. This just exasperates all the stereotypes. When the whole Donald Trump thing was happening, like, oh, Haitians eat the cat and animals. Like, it's just very frustrating to me when these things happen because like Rebecca says, we only talk about the bad things. Yes, there are gang leaders and yes, they're taking over, but it's like also what are you doing to help? Because people love our countries to just go visit and sit under the sun, but they never want to actually help the countries. The same thing with Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is still a territory of the United States of America, and all Americans love to go to Puerto Rico, but when it's time to drop the bag and help the island flourish, then they want to back off. Jake Paul literally lives in Puerto Rico, but he supported or endorsed Trump. Like, you are endorsing someone that has literally talked trash about the island that you decide to live in because you love so much. So it is all just super frustrating. But as like proud Caribbean people, I just felt like we needed to talk about it because just because we don't talk about it every week, we are seeing and we know what is happening. And I always make sure that I speak my mind on what is happening because I do want to see our island flourish.
And that's one thing I will say I give Shayla a lot of credit for. Cause like I remember I used to, before I decided to read into things and really understand that not all people within a certain group are alike, I think like I had this like bias kind of. So like I remember when me and her first met in college, I remember she told me that she's Dominican and I was like, we might not get along. I was like, but it's like as like I kept talking to Shayla and me and her like really started connecting and stuff, I realized how much we have in common, and I also realized like that our differences like really, I guess like really like help bring more insight into who Shayla is as a person. So
Mhm.
like one thing I will say that Shayla has taught me is to read more into certain things. So it's just like when you see the history of Haiti and DR, yes, there has always been some type of tension, but that's because the people that were in power promoted this idea of tension. And then you also have to understand the historical construct, I mean, into like blackness and being dark skinned and having
Yeah,
dark skin.
Trujillo, the dictator that massacred Haitians, like there is history there. So
Or like
like when Rebecca felt some type of way, or like when when I say, oh, I'm Afro Latina, like I know through the years she like kind of like okay, whatever about it. But I give Rebecca space. Like I understand her when she says she does not want to go to Dominican Republic. Like I give her space to feel the way she feels because she of course has the right to it. Is you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not like, "Oh, well, you need to like me," or "Oh, don't feel this way about XYZ," because that's her experience. She is I say I'm Afro Latina, but also I'm not dark skinned like Rebecca is, right? So her truth and how, she walks around the world is not the same as me, and I understand that. So I've never been like, oh, why doesn't Rebecca want to go to DR with me? Like, I'm not dumb and ignorant. I very much understand.
And like I have, and it's Shayla's not my only Dominican friend. I have other Dominican friends, and they all have told me like when I have my wedding, like it's going to be in DR, and I'm like, that's cool. Like I'll stay in Haiti, but I'll walk over, or
But
I'll
you are
drive
not
over.
walking over. You know how
Like
far.
I scoot skirt boop boop, like I'll pull up. Like I'm not gonna allow that just because like in my mind, I
No.
just keep like I will never forget the fact that like how things have been for Haitians. But
Right.
it's like I'm not gonna pin that on the whole island. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I also want to say to your point, like you mentioned about the voodoo thing, like that's what every time I remember growing up being Haitian was like telling people you had like I'm trying to think of something real dramatic. Like you had a flesh eating disease. Like that's what it kind of was like. Like the moment you tell people you're Haitian, especially me, I went to school with a lot of white people.
Mhm.
So ignorance is bliss in those environments. So like they used to be like, so like you guys do voodoo? Or like they'd be like, oh, like do you guys eat this or like do you guys eat that, or like they also confuse with being Haitian being like from Africa as well. Like they'll be
Mhm.
like, oh, so like is that near Nigeria? And I'm like, girl, the things I have heard.
But you know why? Because they never talk about anything good that happens in Haiti. The only stories that they do cover is what happened over the weekend when a gang leader did, in fact, kill 184 elders because he thought that one of his kids got sick because
Because
of
of voodoo, right?
witchcraft. So those are the things that I feel like compel people to be ignorant. Some people, of course, just like to be ignorant and they choose that because they have all the education and they want to be dumb. But I think that's why it's so important for me, at least, to always speak out when I can, because it's like, well, no. And I will clock people see, because there are anti-blackness is in all the countries. Not only, yes, there are a lot of anti-black Dominicans, the ones that be like, oh, me no black. Yeah, I've seen the memes.
Or they'd be
But
like, I learned from Shayla, this is not a bad word, but like they'll be like morena. Like,
Morena is used as an endearing word for a lot. I mean, for how I've seen it, because
yeah.
like I said, I know I'm light skinned, but all my cousins are not light like me.
Nah, I will attest to that. Her cousins are dark.
I just,
Even her niece.
yeah, exactly. I just so happen to, be the light of the bunch. But regardless, like, oh, like morenita, like it's like a term of endearment, which some might take it as offensive, but it's not for
But
us.
that's just because there was a time I was talking to a dude and his mom was like, morena or something like that. And I remember I looked at her. He was like, no, she was just saying you're beautiful.
Lie.
Don't make me pop you in your mouth, right? So like Shayla was saying, all countries have their own version of witchcraft. Like they have
Mhm.
different names for it. Obviously, whatever the native language is, they have like a word that describes it. And even in America, like we have shows that sit there and focus on witchcraft and stuff that people eat up. Like, oh my god, it's so great. But it's like in certain countries, like these are real things. There are people who specialize in that. There are in different countries, there are people who are known as witches and stuff
Yeah,
like
the
that.
people that like you know how many signs are on here, but like, oh, I read your palm and I'll tell you the future. Okay, so we'll clap at that. And
Right.
then it's like, oh, well, these people are scary because they do this. I do believe in witchcraft. I think that people do that. But I think when it comes, of course, because Haitian people are black, they like make it like, oh my God, I'm so scared. What are they gonna do to me? But y'all not scared about the white people that reading your hand and telling you the future. Like we just cannot pick and choose when all of like I think it's all ingrained in anti-blackness and just people that are just
Exactly.
scared because all they see when they do talk about witchcraft, well, when they talk about Haiti, is witchcraft and gangs and just bad things. But we've talked a lot about that.
I just wanted to bring up one more point real quick.
Okay.
Shayla and I, when we were talking about this on the phone yesterday, she had asked me, like you're saying, like someone needs to step up and basically like be
Who do you
willing
think
to.
needs to step up? Yeah.
Hmm?
Yeah, no, go ahead with the step up
Yeah, like
thing.
I was saying to her, I was like, somebody has to be willing to step up and focus on like building the country and making it prosperous again without the idea of greed fueling them, right? And she was mentioning, you know, the gang leaders and this and that, like there's all this evil that's happening. And I'm like, the thing is, you have to be willing to meet evil with evil, but promote good when you can. So the person who steps foot in there, you gonna have to make a stance. The moment you capture a gang leader, baby, match that evil with evil. But after you get the gang out of there, don't put money into rebuilding that community, build homes, create jobs, help like make things flourish again, right? So like I just think that, and if they feel like one person, because I mean the history that we've seen with Haiti, one person has not been good to just put their own like greed or anything aside to help the country prosper. But I feel like y'all have to do a better vetting process as well. Just because someone wants to run for the presidency does not mean that they automatically should be the president. You know, really like look at their policies, look at not even policies, but look at what they believe and what they stand for. Like as Haitian people, we always talk about we're proud this, we're proud that, but with every country, just because we're great people as a whole, there does not mean that there are not bad people within that. We're like a donut. There's a good circular, but there's the center. There's some bad people in there. So
but that's with everything. There's good and evil of every race, every gender, every religion, everything.
Yes, absolutely.
So to that point, I know we talked for a very long time about that topic, but I feel strongly about it, and it's always going to be go Haiti, go DR, go the whole island, period.